I don't know anyone who doesn't like schnitzel. And I thought today I'd make a slightly more sophisticated version, particularly as I have these delicious bannock-burn chicken breasts. I'm going to start by making I've got some fresh breadcrumbs. I'm going to add some beautiful fresh herbs to them. Be quite generous, let's say about a tablespoon of each herb, whatever you have in the garden, but I've got today some fresh thyme. I'll leave the stalks out. Just give it a good fine chop. Got some beautiful sage. Now you could use dried herbs, but fresh is much better. And I'll just strip this rosemary from the stalk, just so it's not too woody. Rosemary is very tough, so it's a good idea just to spend some time making it nice and fine. And there you go. The next thing I'll do is season that with a lot of freshly ground black pepper. And some salt. I've also got some plain flour, just in a bowl. And I'll just put a little bit of seasoning in there as well. And now for the slightly decadent bit. I'll make an egg wash with some free-range eggs, 2 yolks, just separated. And now, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1 of grain mustard. Get the best quality mustards you can find, and a good wallop of hot English. And then finally, 2 tablespoons of double cream. Now I'm using double cream as opposed to thickened cream because I want this to really coat those chicken breasts. And just a good whisk. You can see how thick that is. To crumb the schnitzel, just take my chicken breast and roll it in the flour, making sure you cover it all over, and then give it a good tap into that very thick, decadent egg wash. Just drain a little bit off and then press over the crumbs. Now what happens, these will go into the fridge just to firm up and let those mustard flavours develop and marinate the chicken. Just making sure I get a really good covering, and then onto the plate. I'll cover this with cling wrap and put it in the fridge for about 1 hour until it's firmed up. Now, nothing goes better with schnitzel than coleslaw. I've got this New Season's cabbage that I'm just going to shred up. Just take off most of the tough outer leaves. Take out the core. And then with my mandolin, I'm just going to shave it nice and thin. Now, I'm not going to be making a traditional coleslaw. Instead of mayonnaise, I'm going to keep it light with just a very simple vinaigrette. And that looks like enough for two. Cabbage into the bowl. And then just about half a shaved red onion. You don't need to have too much onion. Just take out that little green centre, I don't want that. Now, before I finish off this coleslaw, I'm just going to get a pan on to cook my schnitzel. I need it to be very hot, so it needs a few minutes to warm up. And I've also preheated the oven to around 160 to 170 degrees Celsius. Now, to finish the coleslaw, toasted pine nuts, let's say about 1/4 cup. Salt and pepper. Juice of 1 lemon. A good glug of olive oil. And I'll just leave that to sit while I cook the schnitzel. Now, I'm just putting quite a bit of oil in the pan. But if you've got a good non-stick pan like this one, you won't need that much more. Grab my schnitzel from the fridge. They're firmed right up, ready for cooking. Presentation side first into the pan. Just drop the heat back a little bit. I don't want them to burn. Leave them to brown, and I won't turn them over until they're nicely coloured. A couple of minutes. While that's cooking, I'll toss that dressing through that cabbage, just so it starts to wilt a little bit. Now, that's been about 2 minutes, so I'm just going to gently roll them over. Just being careful that I don't drag off that crumbing mix. Use a hand to support and roll over. Beautiful colour. And I'll give that 2 minutes on the other side. Okay, these are ready to come out. I've just got a baking tray here, baking pan. I'm just going to gently lower them in. And I'll put them in the oven for 2 to 3 minutes, just until they firm up, being careful not to overcook them. Well, that's been about 2.5 minutes, so I'll just check these. And they're fantastic, ready to go. The coleslaw too, you'll see, is just wilted down really nicely, and there's one ingredient to add now, and that's some picked parsley leaves, a generous handful. One last toss. Now to plate up. Some lemon, and that, in my opinion, is worth staying home for.